Hello and welcome. This is again Zoli from Clockwork Time, the website, Instagram and the mail address. Today I'm going to continue on the Czechoslovak socialist era when the in-house watches in the Czechoslovak era were such a big deal, and this is actually the collection of the Prim Sport 2. Let me just show you a brief shot, and then I'm going to talk about each and one of them. So these are the watches, the Prim Sport 2 series, because the first one, the Prim Sport or the Prim Sport 1, and those watches were roundish, and as you can see, these are kind of this shape. It's kind of a new era. Maybe somebody might call them diver. I like to call them like a barrel shaped, because it's also the case. All the watches are working. So the first watches from the Prim Sport 2 were these are the first model Prim Sport 2.1, and they were introduced in 1972. You had black, and of course the hands back then were metallic, nickeled, and with the tritium filling. So this is the reason why the hands might have some little rust on them. And these are the black ones. Let me show you the blue. Of course, the blue with the white ring. This is the blue. The case is always chromed, so it's kind of the sick point of these watches when the chrome is coming off. And as you can see, this case, the red one, does have, let me just try to zoom in. Can you see the case is kind of brushed into a texture, and this was the only one from the Prim Sport 2 series with this kind of case brush. And also you can see the difference. Let me just show you. The number 3 on the bezel in this case is a classic rounded 3, and in this case the head is flat, and these were the more valued ones. Of course, it's in working condition. You can see the actual chrome coming off. Okay, and one more, I forgot to mention one more specific. You can see on the 2.1 Prim Sport, the crown actually is kind of it does have a little head, while let me just show you the next series does have only a flat head, the next generation. So these watches were introduced, let me just skip to these were introduced in 1978. The orange and the green models, the hands in this case were more like the plastic hands. Everything else is the same. The crown is flat on these watches because of the new design. They tried something new. The date, of course, it's flipping and it's working. So these were from the 78, and later the big hit in the Czechoslovak era, the Prim Sport 2, so-called Humberto, because of the famous Humberto circus, because this on the dial you can see. I'll just try to zoom in. This was the basic Humberto. Yes, this is the basic Humberto from 1980s, and this is when these Prim Sport 2 watches just started to make the big sale. Of course, this is the pistachio. You can see the scent of the pistachio scent. This is the original one, the only greenish, and this was the original. Then we have the only green, no other edition. You can see in this the hands are kind of the second hand is in orange, and this is only a faded green, so-called. But the most colorful in this series are the Prim Sport 2 Humberto Clown, which stands for the clown, and it's because of the colorful play of the watch face. Of course, every watch is working; they're working just fine. The chrome is really nice, but you can see in some cases the chrome starts to come off, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, all the case backs are stainless steel, and these watches are waterproof for 40 meters. So yeah, you could swim in them, you could have a shower, or any water would be okay with these, except of course diving. And the newest model are the Prim Sport 2. These are the dive watches. These were 50 meters waterproof, and these came in 1993. So the Prim Sport 2 series got an expansion with the dive watch series. You had the black and the white, and of course, if you can notice, the date window moved from the 3-hour to the 6-hour mark, and everything else on these watches were the same. So for some technical specifications, the watch diameter in this direction is 36 millimeters, and the lug to lug, or the height, is 41 millimeters. Inside the in-house movement Prim 68.3 or 68.4, 68.3 and 68.4, based on if it was newer, the older model, then the movement was decorated, and in these new models the movements were only plain and no decoration happened. Also you can see different type of variations. For example, this is the Humberto Clown, and in my hand I have the Humberto Clown, but as you can see, in this case you have the white ring, in this case you does not have the white ring. So this was only because these were so easily modifiable watches in the Czechoslovak era. So you have here the black, and again here here we have the white. So these were easily modifiable watches, and everybody could just take them apart and modify them as they just wanted. These watches are easily you can buy them nowadays still. The prices are variable, going from a few euros if the watch case is in a poor condition. If the condition of the watch itself is poor, then maybe a few euros. But in these cases, the prices can go up to 100 and even more euros. I've seen similar watches in auctions going good for 150, maybe 200 euros. On eBay you can go even higher. So these are really collectible watches. Let me just try to put everything in one picture. So these watches, yes, you can see nicely the playful, colorful faces of these watches. So these are really nice and collectible still nowadays. The Czechoslovak era is far behind us, so it's a non-existing country anymore, but the factory Prim is still an existing factory, and they are still producing watches, not these, but of course other types and models, so you can still buy them. So this was me, Zoli, from Clockwork Time. For next, I have something special for you, and thank you very much for watching the website Clockwork Time and the details. So I thank you very much for being with me today also. Have a nice day. Cheers.